Welcome back in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host, J.R. Anderson and Curtis Phillips as we take you down till 6 o'clock. Program note as well, we'll go about 15 minutes past our 6 o'clock stop time. We'll continue the show on the Real Spiel podcast, the Big X the Sports Radio YouTube channels, and also my personal Twitter page as well if you want to catch some ticket punching that we're going to be doing after the live hours as well. Fellas, what's going on? JR, Curtis, it's crazy night we had last night with the ticket punchers. We punched a few tickets here on the show, had some listeners punching some tickets as well. We punched Lazard guys tickets as well. Amazing day yesterday on the ticket punchers due to the Thursday night football game we had, in which it was a really fun one. Curtis, we'll start with you. Last night, Thursday night football, you hit your big punch of the day. JR hits his big punch of the day. We all hit a few different ones, but let's get into that last night. Curtis, just to start us off last night with your picks that you gave out yesterday and how things were looking for you last night with betting. What were the big punches looking like for you last night?
Yeah, so it was a really good day. Had Bengals plus 5.5. And then T. Higgins over the 45.5 receiving yards. So it's pretty much, no sweat. I know Steelers, went up 10-0 to start the game. But honestly, I wasn't too worried. I thought Bengals offense, will get going. And overall, it was just a pretty entertaining game. It seems like, a lot of people, cashed, a lot of props pretty early last night. So, yeah, just another fun, entertaining Thursday night football game.
JR?
Yes,
how
sir.
you feeling after last night?
Awesome, man. We hit our big ticket puncher parlay. 2 for 2 on those so far. So really happy about that. I believe our chase yardage covered, our halftime spread covered. I think the only thing that went under for us was the DK Metcalf yardage after they moved the line. But, yeah, awesome night overall. Ready for this weekend and tonight's game with them cards.
We did have a good night last night with Thursday night football. I mean, what a game. That was the game if I've ever seen it. Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers looking like two of the most experienced guys in the league, of course, because that's what they are. But the ability on some of those throws, fellas, there's not a lot of guys in the league that still got it like that. And the fact that they're still able to do it at that level, I thought it's just crazy. It's just we've got to cherish these kinds of players while we've got them still, because there's not a lot here in these young guys that are going to be taking over the reins. What did you guys just think of the overall performance between Aaron and Joe last night?
Yeah, I really love the name that they gave the name with calling it the Unk Bowl. That was awesome.
Unk Bowl,
I was like, that fits so perfectly. But man, it kind of goes back to, the change of scenery for the quarterback, has been the very hot topic the last couple of years. Daniel Jones, Cleveland moving on from Flacco, you name it. Darnold, it comes up every year, but, these two guys are in that top 1%, in my opinion. I think Flacco's top 15 all time in yardage. So, we don't have to get into A-Rod statistics, but, these two guys can get it done. But I just wish the defensive side of the ball could have played a little bit better last night. But in hindsight, it cashed all of our props because they were so bad. So awesome game overall, man.
Philly, what'd you think of the game?
Yeah, well said. Just two OGs going at it. I think both, obviously Rodgers, but I think Flacco will, end up squeaking in the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, just seeing them doing at this level, we can't take that for granted at all. So.
Definitely not. We'd like to see these guys doing this at this level still, because there's not a lot of guys like this yet. But, fellas, we hit some money last night. Let's go over just like the official punches like we had just said there. I hit the Evan McPherson. We hit a couple different props from JR. Unfortunately, I think you went like 4-1 outside of the Metcalf yards, and then on top of that, you hit the big parlay. So JR had a great night for us. Shout out to Lazard guy, also getting the pick. The Noah Fant, John O. Smith. I mean, he was all over it with that parlay last night. A couple different listeners cashing that as well. Lazard guy's already tweeted at us with a couple picks that he's got for tonight that we're going to get into here later on in the show. Kind of a college football night, fellas, as we're all Louisville fans. You see the Louisville gear on all of us right now. All of us repping here on the Ticket Punchers. As usual, we're having some issues with the podcast. Unfortunately, the software we use that we record the audio on is just not responding. Gray screen here. I can't exit it out because I might lose the Mike Rutherford show there. So we've got to figure out what happens with that. Might have to do a little bit of some lab work here, getting the audio from this maybe onto our Spotify. But fellas, we got to get into this for the night of sports we've got tonight. Louisville is playing, going up against Miami, a spread that at one point I saw sitting at 15.5 a few days ago. Maybe that was like an ESPN bet, maybe just for a few hours, but 14.5 for a lot of the time. Now dropping down to 13.5, all the way up to 11.5 at this point in the day, fellas. We didn't do a whole lot of talking on Louisville versus Miami tonight and what that spread looks like. But is there an angle we're looking at in this game tonight? I mean, that kind of all goes down into the confidence we have in Louisville's ability to go have a productive offense out there. A lot of good odds on all of our skill players, pretty much, if you're into that. Is there anything we're looking at into this night? Are we going to keep it? I mean, I stay away from Louisville and opponent type of props. Right? I don't like Louisville money line. I don't like Louisville spread. I'm always willing to bet Louisville player props. If there's a Louisville team prop or the opposition has a team prop, I will look into those potentially, but I stay away from the game outcome plays. Personally, what are you guys looking into tonight in Louisville versus Miami, or just the night of college football that we've got?
Go ahead, JR.
Okay. I mean, the two or three favorites that I like that I've been researching so far, all 80 percentile. One of these are 89 percentile prop wise. I definitely love Isaac Brown with over 50 rushing, 12 out of the last 15 games has covered. He's 80% on that. And I also like him to exceed 64.5 rush and receptions, 12 of 15. He's 80% on that as well, covering the last game. And then he missed 2, and then he had like a 4 or 5 game streak, and then another 6 game streak. So I like that. And also, for the 89 percentile prop, I like Carson Beck. He's exceeded 2 passing touchdowns in 8 of the last 9, and he averages 2.6 TDs every game. So I mean, our DB defense is not great, but I do think that these three are the most confident that I like. I saw the line, I think right before the show started, it was plus 11.5, I believe. I saw a lot of people taking that. If we want to get into specifics on the game line in general, we can pull that up. So
I'm seeing 12.5 now on FanDuel. I won't be surprised at all if this drops down to 11 before game time. What do we think of the total over? Well, Curtis, do you have anything you're looking at specifically in this game?
Yeah, so I tend to not bet Louisville, a lot. Our team, I kind of just tend to watch. I've seen a lot of people on us, which I actually kind of don't like, but that number helped, even though Jeff Brom, good as an underdog. But I ended up taking one player prop in this game, and that's Miller Moss, quarterback for Louisville, over his 254.5 passing yards. We should be in a trailing game script, as you expect, being about 14-point dogs. He's plus passing yards in 3 games, so which we was trailing in most of those. So I think he'll be, airing it out. We do need to get our run game going, so I think we will have a balanced attack, but I still think this is too low of a number for Moss.
Yeah,
it does feel a little bit too low, but I love these player props. I mean, you're getting good numbers on pretty much all of these. I like the Carson Beck play as well. 2+ touchdowns. I mean, I'm on that right now. I think Fletcher probably gets into the end zone as well. Mark Fletcher is sitting at minus 170. If you are taking the parlay route, maybe looking to build 2 or 3 legs. Fellas, I mean, there's Chris Bell's 80+ yards is sitting at minus 166. Odds on that have gotten bigger, right? I think it was at minus 140 a couple of days ago on his 80+. Now at minus 166. I mean, this is his go-to guy the last 2 games, in which Miller Moss has covered the 300+ yard mark. Kind of surprisingly, not a lot of positive talk on Miller in these last 2 games yet. Statistically, outside of the mistakes, he's been really good. Fellas, I think Chris Bell might – if Louisville wants to stay in this game, it's going to come with Chris Bell, Colin Lacey, and Isaac Brown, and Miller Moss avoiding turnovers. I mean, Chris Bell, we've got to take a look at him here. I wish we could get like first quarter or first half props on player props like this.
It's college, they don't really –
they only let you do the team first half props and stuff. They don't let you do the players. But I'm kind of feeling Chris Bell a little bit tonight. Just a bit. I mean, he's been hot the last 2 games. I feel like he's really getting into that groove. He's seeing his names on these draft boards. This is one of those games that if you go and do what you've done so far this season against a defense like Miami, you skyrocket. I mean, I saw a mock draft last night.
He's already top 5.
He's already a top 3 receiver in some of these mock drafts, but it's still in that bottom 28th pick, 30th pick, right? For a lot of these mock drafts, you skyrocket to the top 20. I feel like that 10 to 20 range, if you go have a really impressive outing here tonight and continue to not have those boneheaded not turnovers, but flags. We don't need the unsportsmanlike conduct, Chris. That's what we don't need. Just a little bit of Louisville talk here on the Ticket Punchers, as we do have 3 Louisville fans that try to remove their bias when we look into the books and betting. The only way I can do that is avoid betting the Louisville and outcome props for the game, right?
Yeah.
Louisville total points, that's something that's on us. That's on our offense going and getting that job done. I'm not mad at that. Speaking of, what is our total team points sitting at?
It's 17.5. And I was actually looking at this too. We've scored like 24 plus.
24 points in
it goes back
19 straight games, I believe.
I already say it goes back about 2 years from now. So that's when I was actually looking at. I know this is probably maybe the best defense we'll face in that time period. So I was kind of a little weary about that, but that's one I was eyeing.
But Jeff Brom hasn't gone under this. I mean, 24 points is the lock for a Jeff Brom team since he's been at Louisville, it feels like. And I'm on that 17.5. That's going to be my first official punch of the night. Only punch I'm going to have in this game. You guys have any official punches in this game? I know you gave those leans out just a few minutes ago there, JR, but do you want to make any of those official?
Yeah. Recapping. Isaac Brown rushing yards over 50, minus 114 on FD, and on DK it is minus 120. Isaac Brown, if you like to dabble with checkdowns for running backs, Isaac Brown over 64.5 rush plus receiving, minus 114. DraftKings does not have it. Only FanDuel and Prospects. Carson Beck over 1.5 TDs, minus 174 on FanDuel. DraftKings is minus 169. And something that I've just added is I got to throw the Louisville quarterback in there, Miller Moss, over 1 passing touchdown. I think he definitely gets that. That right there is a four piece. I would say these are all individual locks, especially the 2 Isaac Brown legs. Those would be my 2 heavy hammers. The other 2 odds are not favorable to most cappers at minus 174 and minus 280. But if you parlay it, I think this is a recipe for success. The only thing I see that could bite us in the butt is if Carson Beck doesn't throw 2, but he's at home, so he should be fine.
Yeah. Hopefully our defense can maybe put them in a situation where they're having to throw the ball a little bit more than they plan to in the second half of that game.
Yeah.
JR, anything you like officially in this game tonight? I mean, Curtis.
Yeah.
You're good. I'll go official punch on that Miller Moss prop. The over 254.5. Got that at FanDuel at minus 114. So I'll go official punch on that.
Love it. There's the talk on Louisville football for tonight. But before we do move on, I've got to let you guys know we have a tweet in from Lazard Guy. And Lazard Guy tweeted, Miami Kariski is alive and well. Brown has to get involved in the pass game if Louisville wants to move the chains. So this is coming in at 44 minutes ago. He placed $20 on Nate Kariski anytime touchdown at plus 1,000. Nate Kariski getting the game-winning touchdown 2 years ago down in Miami. Mark Redmond getting a touchdown last year against Miami, which is another tight end touchdown. Different guy, but still 2 years in a row. Tight ends on for Louisville getting touchdowns against Miami. Not mad at that at all. And he's got Isaac Brown 20-plus receiving yards. He caught it plus 230. He threw $50 on this. So Lazard Guy feeling Isaac Brown, and he's feeling Kariski as well. I feel like there's going to be a thrown touchdown from Miller Moss in this game to someone that's unexpected. So I think that, Miami defense is going to zone in on Chris Bell. In the red zone, they're going to zone in on Colin Lacey. I like a Jaleel Skinner or a Nate Kariski touchdown, and he's going with Nate Kariski on this one. I'm not mad at that at all. Fellas, quickly, we only got about, obviously it's crazy. The show goes quick. We got 12 minutes here. Hopefully we can get this podcast working, the recorder working before. But it's just having some issues, sadly. Moving on to the slate of college football before we get to a little bit of quick NFL talk on the weekend, fellas. I'll start with Lazard Guy because he sent another tweet out at us. ATS plays for college football. Think Minnesota, Purdue, and Auburn are live to win outright. Straight wagers on Vandy, TCU minus 2.5. But we keep it safe with money line plays for the parlay. Punch those tickets. So he's got a 5-legger here. Minnesota plus 7.5. Vanderbilt money line, TCU money line, Purdue plus 2.5, Auburn plus 1.5. Curtis, when you hear these picks initially, what's your thought straight away?
Yeah, so I actually did take Minnesota straight tonight, and I do very well think they're a live dog against Nebraska. No, I know Nebraska just entered their way into the top 25, but just from a trend standpoint, Nebraska hasn't beat this team since 2018, and they're coming into Minnesota Friday night game where we know things get weird already. So yeah, I took the 7.5, and I did sprinkle on the money line. So
I love it.
I love the Minnesota Gophers pick.
That's actually the run-in with Roman. Big X, big bet of the day is the Minnesota plus 7.5. So I'm on that as well. JR, anything you like? I just sent you guys this his parlay and his tweet in our Ticket Punchers chat. If you want to take a look at it there, what are you liking in the either on this parlay? Because this is a lot of games that were worth looking at anyway. That Lazar guy has pinpointed. But anything else you may be liking in college football, you can go ahead and add. Curtis will have you add as well after that.
Yeah, his TCU leg I think is really, really interesting. They're actually favored right now by -3.5. So to take the plus 2.5, I don't know the odds on it. I can't alt it for some reason right now, but I mean that's solid. You know, I really like TCU. You know, that game was one on my big board. I was going to do some research tonight on it. Of course, definitely looking at the Georgia game, taking Georgia. If you look at the lines, I've been watching it really close this week. You know, they are begging us to take this plus 7.5 spread against Georgia. And I think that's a trap.
I do too.
I do think Georgia's going to win this game. It might not be pretty, but I do think that they're going to get the job done. I don't really trust dabbling in anything else, you know, prop wise for the game, but I do think that they'll cover the money line. And if you wanted to, you know, be a little bit on the edge side, you know, I'm thinking like 3.5 points, but you know, on, you know, plus 3.5 for Georgia. But that's the only one that I've really gotten into so far. I've been really focused on the NFL.
Yeah, we're going to get into that as well. Curtis, before we do move on to NFL, anything you like on the college football slate?
Yeah, so it's actually in that Ole Miss Georgia game. I do ultimately think Georgia wins this outright, probably covers, but they've been starting off slow. I'm not mad at an Ole Miss plus 3.5 in the first half.
Okay.
In 3 of the 4 SEC games, Georgia has been down at halftime, more of a second half team, you know, coming storming, you know, through that third quarter. But I think Ole Miss can keep it close in the first half.
Absolutely. And to follow the money line, 65% of bettors are going towards Georgia. The percentage of the money is 50-50. The spread is everyone's taking 77% for Ole Miss, and the over 57% and 60% majority on percentage of bets and percentage of money are both going over for this game. So just to give you guys some insight to work with out there.
Man, Ole Miss ain't played anybody. Georgia going to show them what it is.
Yeah.
Georgia going to show them what's good. I don't like Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
But, fellas, what everyone is really tuned in for, what they all want to know, what are we taking on Sunday? What does the big parlay look like? What are the plus money props that we're telling people to look into the punching on? And overall leans on the slate, games that we feel like we have a hint at maybe making some money at. Where are we at so far? I get it's Friday. I do my dig. I start it typically on Thursday or Friday for the NFL, and I don't do it too intensively until Saturday afternoon, evening, just because you get a lot of good line movements, I think, typically right around Saturday night. So I haven't gone all inclusive with my NFL dig, but I've got a few things that I do like. Where are you guys at? I mean, I'll just start. I'm on the Dallas Cowboys to win outright. I don't take a lot of money lines. I think even line on a toss up here for this Dallas Cowboys team that's been right now as it stands is the best offense in the NFL at home. Pickens has been in his bag. Dak's been in his bag. Run games looked a little bit better the last couple of games against a Washington Commanders team that I feel like it's taken a step down defensively from last year. I think that Dallas is going to roll here and get a very comfortable win with the way that offense has looked, especially on their home field. So first for me is that I'm looking at is the Dallas Cowboys. That's an official punch that I've got so far. Another official punch that I'm on is the Rico Dowdle anytime touchdown.
I like
Chuba Hubbard coming back. Their coach has said some things yesterday or today, actually. Maybe was it yesterday evening or today? I'm not sure. I read in the early afternoon. Chuba Hubbard was a full go at Friday practice, but we're not going to let you guys know. They're trying to keep it secretive on who's going to be the RB1 and getting the more carries. When you just pay Chuba that kind of money and you don't want to let people know that he is going to be playing, you would let them know if your main guy was playing tonight. The fact that you're trying to keep it a secret means you're trying to see if he can get even more ready before Sunday. I don't see that happening. The Jets defense has been tough to watch, fellas. Pass games have been able to get whatever they want on them. Run games have been able to get whatever they want on them. I like Rico Dowdle at plus 105 to get a touchdown on an official punch here this weekend, this Sunday. Last prop, this is a lean. It's an even line, minus 115. The Tennessee Titans are one of the worst defenses against the run, and the Patriots throw the ball a lot. It's a weird combination going into this game. I think the Patriots are going to try to continue doing what they're doing. Maybe they do have a little bit more run success, but ultimately Drake May's still going to get the dropbacks. He's still going to get the opportunities. And when he sees all that green space in front of him when he rolls out and there's not a single defender staying with him, he's going to go cover this 21.5 rushing yards. He's covered that a couple times this season already. Tennessee has been prone to letting running backs and quarterbacks cut up on them with their feet. So official lean, it's a jab, fellas. It's not an official punch, but I'm on a jab with the Drake May 21.5 rushing yards. What are you guys feeling for Sunday? Start off with you, Curtis.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a haymaker, as JR would say, with Quinshon Judkins over 93.5 rushing yards. I was kind of late to the party on this. I think it opened up around 85.5 or so. But this Dolphins defense, probably the worst
run defense in the NFL.
Yep, in the entire NFL. They've allowed 168 yards per game throughout that season. That number goes up to about 192 in the last three. And I just think Mike McDaniels, he's kind of lost this locker room. You wonder if they're tanking. And yeah, so Judkins before last game where they got blown out by the Steelers, he had 18, 21, and 23 carries. So I expect the volume to be there. His rushing attempt line is at 20.5, juice to the over, clear-cut number one. And the Browns are a favorite in this game, which is big, usually a big underdog. So I'm expecting a neutral to positive game script against these Dolphins. And yeah, I think he gets well over 93. If you want to take a little ladder for 100 plus and 110 plus, I'm not mad at that at all. But yeah, Quinshon Judkins over 93.5 rushing yards at minus 114 on FanDuel.
I am not mad at this. I wanted to get on Quinshon when I did a little bit of my dig. Browns, Dolphins, immediately a light went off in my head, and I went and I looked at that line and I saw 93, and I thought, as much as I think he's going to cut up and do well, I just stay away from those numbers. So I do like the haymaker there. That's an official punch that you're taking so far here?
Yes, sir.
JR, what do you like?
Yeah, let me get it pulled up here. I was trying to make sure I had my parlay. I went a little bit different this week. This one's going to be considered a lottery ticket. Not one of the official big ones, but we can go through it. I've been researching money lines for this week. I thought this would have been the best week for football. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets on the NFL side. So I'll kind of roll through my individual two that I like really much. Cortland Sutton over 57.5 receiving yards, minus 115 currently. His yardage for 80 and 90 is plus 200, plus 300. I do think 80 is obtainable, but for a 1 unit play, I really like him at over 57.5 there. So that's one of my official ticket punches. And then Saquon, it's revenge time. He cost me a tally in the loss column last week by underperforming. I think he's going to bounce back this week. Over 73.5 rush yards. It's time to wake up the dog himself and get him back on track. I do think that Philly game is going to be very good, but those are my two officials. And then I have money lines if you want to record them because these are going to get spicy. So Jacksonville, money line over the Rams. Right now they're plus 134. Jacksonville momentum is very high. Puka Nacua injury, I think, is going to be enormous. Right now, Devontae Adams is his catch percentage is like almost sub 50%, which is his career low, which is really bad. He's in my fantasy, so I follow him very closely. He doesn't look like himself. His reps and his targets will go up, but they're going to live or die by their primary. And if Puka's not there, I think they're going to struggle a little bit now that, probably Travis or that defense will be able to hone in a little bit more. So Jacksonville money line for me. I like Philly money line. I don't think Minnesota, is going to be too much of a problem. I don't have to really get in depth there. Kansas City money line over the Raiders. I don't even think that's going to be a challenge. I do like Chicago Bears over New Orleans. I like Miami over Cleveland, Carolina over New York, New England to cover over the Patriots. I just took money line. That's minus 300. Colts over. What is this? Is this Colts money line? New York Giants +7. That game has been getting a lot of attention just because they've been losing so bad. But I do think one touchdown is reasonable in this game.
Love it.
Yep. Dallas Cowboys money line over the Commanders. I was this close to taking the +1.5, but after digging into it a little bit deeper, I think the Dallas Cowboys got enough firepower to spread this thing out, and their defense is starting to wake up a little bit. And Washington's receivers are struggling, in my opinion, a little bit. Green Bay Packers money line. I love the Atlanta Falcons money line over San Francisco. A lot of people are going to hate me for that, but Atlanta is waking up, man. Bijan is a absolute problem. I don't think there's many in the league that can stop him in this offense. But last leg, Detroit money line.
Love those. We do have to wrap it up here on the Ticket Puncher. Stay tuned. If you want to hear us continue on this chat, we will be live on the Big X YouTube, on the Real Spiel YouTube, and on my personal YouTube Twitter page. We'll be right back after this on those, but this is going to wrap us up. We'll be back next Tuesday on the Ticket Punchers on the radio.
Let's punch some tickets.
Let's punch some tickets.
Punch those tickets. Did you do a
Welcome back in here. Welcome back in. It's the Ticket Punchers. Fellas, I do want to let the listeners know we're going to go about another 15 minutes here, 10, 15 minutes of getting some more punches out. But I also want to let you guys know I do want to keep this still with our radio-friendly rules because I'm going to try to use the audio from the stream on the podcast. So let's keep it radio-friendly, even though we are on the YouTube only here now. But, fellas, we got a good amount of punches out right there. Of course, I missed Lazar's guy's text on our text line, but I do want to get out his message real fast. He said, let's punch these tickets, fellas. I'll probably be tweeting some more college football and UFC plays tomorrow. Haven't put it in yet, but I'll probably be on Syracuse plus 8.5 as well. What do we think of that?
I haven't looked into it.
Honestly, I haven't looked into it either.
So I got to look into it. But
Syracuse beat Clemson. That's the only game I watched. I'll admit that.
Lazar guy's been hot, though. I mean,
yep.
He has been hot. He says he's going to give out some more college football and UFC plays tomorrow, so we're going to get on those. Fellas, I had a couple people reach out. I'm going to give you guys we got to get the picks out every day after the show. And we're gonna put those on the Real Sport X account, but we're gonna maybe have to make a Ticket Punchers Twitter account. I feel like that's just gonna have to be the route we go. So Curtis, if you wanna, Philly, if you wanna, JR, if you wanna get on that and start that process up.
Yeah, I tried to reserve one. Someone already has that name individually, so we'll have to alt it in some capacity.
I did. Is the Ticket Punchers and Ticket Punchers taken?
No, just Ticket Punchers. It's some account that has been dormant since like 2020. So
we can try that.
Yeah, I had like 30 people reach out and ask me, like, man, like, where can I follow y'all at last couple of days after the, last couple of days, but more importantly, once we hit that last parlay, everybody's like, wait a minute, we gotta start watching these guys since we're all winning.
Yeah, we do. I do have I believe I've got a email we can use.
Yeah.
I do think I have an extra email we can use if we want to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got to get these picks out. I've been slacking on the Telegram and Discord as well, just because it's not really clear cut.
Yeah,
pick every single day for that night. But we've got to start getting these picks out. It's easier when we've got parlays already made for them. But we don't always put them all on one play. Obviously, there's a lot of straight betting going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So Lazar guy also tweeted what he tweeted about Nate Kariski. Somebody's replied to him and said, "Dang, you moved the Kariski
plus 650.
Plus 650 now."
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah. Moving lines.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of people tweeting at us here. We're gonna have to make a Ticket Punchers. We're gonna just have to make a Ticket Punchers page and make sure
we can get it done this weekend for everybody listening.
JR, if we want, do we want to start building like just a bit of a Ticket Punchers, just a screen sharing type of a thing where we show people what we're on here?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, fellas, I like asking you guys this because it's Friday, the Plus Money Friday. It's Plus Money Friday. Not necessarily an official punch or anything, but I like all of us to give a plus money prop out or one that we genuinely are on this weekend, at least, to let the other two co-hosts know, and of course the listeners. So where are we at with the just the overall parlay? I think it's time to get that built one in because we do know we've got all of the straights that we like. So let's get this little bit of a parlay built. And it's also I've got a couple different plus money things I'm looking at. Haven't had the most success with plus money props, but let's get after it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I've got a couple of other things that I was looking into here that I forgot to mention. It's really just one. Michigan's team total points in their game against Washington tomorrow at noon is 28.5.
Mm-hmm.
They play I like Washington to win this game, if I'm being honest. The fact that it's in Michigan is the only reason I didn't take Washington straight up. Washington likes to run the ball and play. Michigan likes to run the ball and play slow here, and that Underwood, he's not the thrower that we all thought he was gonna be. At least not yet. He's shown the flashes, but they run the ball with him heavily. And I just think that 28.5 in a game that's probably going to be close feels a little bit high.
does feel a little bit high. I think they've only covered that twice this season. More of a slow-paced team, looking to bounce back after the loss to USC.
They've
But
only covered that twice this season.
I believe so. Maybe right. Well, 3 technically. They got 30 against Nebraska. Obviously, they covered that against Central Michigan, putting up a 60 ball. And
Yeah,
then,
they didn't cover against Oklahoma. They didn't cover against Wisconsin. They didn't cover against USC. All of the competition that's even with them, they're not reaching that mark. I get they're a little bit better than Washington, but Washington's not bad at all.
no, they're not. It does seem a tad too high, maybe a couple points too high.
Yeah, it's Washington's quarterback that gives them the confidence, but also moves the lines.
Washington, they held Ohio State to 24 points. They held Maryland to 20 points. They held Rutgers to 19 points. I mean, the defense isn't bad either.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that play.
I'm only under 28.5 on the Michigan team total. That's not plus money prop, but that's just in terms of maybe looking at some props that I do like.
Right.
Looking at the numbers, I would be very inclined to take Washington's plus 4.5. Man,
that's yeah. I think they're gonna win.
His plus, like that plus 4.5 at minus 102 is awesome. Michigan, it's Michigan, but Washington is definitely capable, man. If they can get a little bit more firepower rolling compared to what they did in the Ohio State game, they could definitely win. I feel like they got into the 30-ish to the 20 because I watched that game because I was locked in on it because I thought Washington was going to play a little bit better, but like they got into the 30, past the 30 into the 20/red zone multiple times and just couldn't convert, or they would take a sack and drop out of out of scoring range, and that just happened way too much. But I do really love this plus 4.5.
You can get it at 5.5 on some other books. It looks like I'm on that.
Even if you want to alt it to a whole tug, like take the money.
6.5 or the 7 odds aren't going to be bad either.
Yeah, take the money.
Okay, I'm liking that.
Plus 6.5 is minus 128. That's a steal. Even a full 7 without the hook is minus 158. So,
I'm on the under 27 Michigan total. I'm on that Washington plus 4.5. I like TCU to win. I'm with Lazar guy at minus 2.5. TCU at home going against Baylor. Baylor allows a lot of points, and TCU's kind of prone to it too. And those the shootouts are always.
That should be a shootout for sure.
Shootouts kind of scare me a little bit.
Yeah,
because it's one mistake, one drive where you don't get the points the other team got, and now you're on the deficit end. So, Baylor could easily win that game by 3, but I do like TCU on the 2.5 there. But yeah, fellas, I mean that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just building one here just on some. I got Louisville's over 17.5. I got Michigan under 27.5. I got Minnesota plus 7.5. I got Washington plus 5.5. I kind of like that. I kind of just want to start adding a little bit of NFL onto it.
One game I do like is the Memphis UAB. Memphis is laying about 3 touchdowns, 21.5. And I know they're on the road at UAB, but UAB might have bottom 5 defense out of all FBS teams. The least amount of points they've allowed all year is 28 to Akron, who can't score on anybody. They've been giving up a lot of points. And Memphis is 6-0 against the spread this year. They've been a cover machine. Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yep.
So I'm not mad at maybe teasing them down. I know on FanDuel you can do the win margin of 14 plus. That'll probably be around minus 300 if you want to add that to a parlay piece. But I'm leaning to take Memphis's spread.
Trying to find it here. Trying to find that here. What time they play? Do you know?
The 4 p.m. game. Or a 4 p.m. game. Like UAB is god awful. Memphis is gonna put up points. I'm actually about to look.
21.5 point favorites here. I'm seeing under 63.5. They think UAB is gonna put some points up too. They've got UAB scoring 21.5 points. That's their line.
Memphis should have nothing less than 40, 42, 45.
I like that a lot, but I do stay away from those big numbers.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I like Memphis to handle business there easily over UAB. 22 points. I'd probably dumb it down to 20.5.
Yeah, or like I said, the parlay piece, 14 plus win margin. You're not getting terrible odds on that. I don't believe so.
All right, fellas. Plus money. Anything on the weekend plus money we like?
Other than I like Minnesota as a live dog. We said on the radio show. I think they're plus 220 around on most books tonight against Nebraska. Other than that, though,
they've got Kevin Holland as a pick'em tomorrow going up against Mike Malott in UFC. I wonder what Lazar guy has on that one. A few even close lines here in the UFC tomorrow, so I'm excited to see what Lazar guy is going to have on those.
Yeah, I'll be tuned if he posts on Twitter.
For sure, but yeah, fellas. I mean, plus money. Yeah, I'm on Minnesota tonight.
I think possibly it could be a letdown spot for A&M. Arkansas after firing like Bobby Petrino, they had some nice kind of get back last week. The offense looked really good against who did they play last week? Tennessee. Yeah, their offense looked way better. Ended up coming back losing that game by 3, but maybe Arkansas is a live dog. Texas A&M letdown spot. Let's see who they play next week. You know, SEC gets kind of crazy. There's always upsets.
There is. They kind of been beating up on each other a little bit.
Y'all think Kelsey gets 30 yards in this game?
Kelsey's line's at 30?
No, his line.
It's probably slightly over because Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, 38 and a half.
Rasheed Rice is
the analytics and all the data tells me to take him at 25 receiving yards. Last 7 to 7. Once we get above 25, it gets tricky. But he can get 30. I feel like Rasheed Rice is just going to open up the field more. I want to take 30, but every time I go against the data, it's the one leg that always bites us in the ass, or bites us. I mean, plus 30 yards is minus 215, 25 is minus 310. I'm finishing out this parlay. I got a couple more legs. Since it's parlayed, I would just follow the data. I'm gonna go minus 310 for the 25.
He had 68 yards last time he played them. Seven receptions, 13 targets. That was November 2024. In October 2024, another victory for the Chiefs, and Kelsey had 90 yards on 10 receptions. 2023, Raiders get the win. I think I remember that game.
Yeah.
And Kelsey had 44 yards in this game. So he's gone over 38 in his last 3 matchups against the Raiders. I feel like the Raiders defense has been good all last 3 of these years. So, I mean, they're low scoring games on all of these. So it's not, I mean, I get like what I'm saying is though the personnel for the Raiders has changed in that time, but there's still a couple of guys that are still there at the time. Obviously, their best defender in Crosby, who loves playing the Chiefs. But I mean, I like Kelsey to hit 40 yards.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm probably staying away. Just Rice's first game back. I'm trying to see how that offense will work, and as well as them being 12-point favorites. Just kind of question marks for me personally with that offense and how many weapons they have.
Yeah. Probably going to be spreading the ball around, a bunch of everybody getting 3 or 4 targets.
You just never honestly know with the Chiefs, man. But
I'm gonna leave the 25 because I feel like that's either a catch or 2 catches and we're good. Let him out for 4 receptions, 5, 6, all that crap. But I added that on there. 2 other questions. I think Daniel Jones covers 200 passing. He is last 6 of 6. And
Chargers defense, I feel like they've let that up a couple times this season.
Yeah, after they lost Mac Yeah. Once they lost Mack and then they traded the safety to my Ravens, their defense has kind of been rocked a little bit, in my opinion. But Daniel Jones 200 and Drake May 200. Both of these are last.
Yeah.
Six
Tua
I love
against
May.
Tua can hit 200 on him with 3 picks, then
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I got Danny for 200. Adding Jordan Love for 180. Last 6 of 6. The 200 mark is his kryptonite sometimes. A little spotty on the analytics. 180 for passing on Jordan Love. Alt that. Where'd he go?
All right, fellas, I do have to jump out of here, but you guys are free to go. Continue on this for however much longer you want. Another 5-10 minutes or so. Just let me know when you guys finish up. But I've got to jump out. This has been Roman Kelly for the Ticket Punchers. Curtis Phillips, J.R. Anderson, going to continue things on for us for another 5 or 10 minutes here. But I got to get on this shift, fellas. Let's go punch some tickets. Go Cards tonight as well.
Tickets, go Cards.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Be safe.
Yes, sir. So, JR, did you make like a money line lay for the whole NFL slate, basically?
Mm-hmm. I'll send it to you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to rush through it. It was just so much, but
No, I understand.
Yeah, I'll send it out to everybody. Let's see, FanDuel.
Yeah, a bunch of exciting games, especially NFL this week.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who did not get it, I will recap it really quick. Let's see. Let me select this in here. There it is. That football lotto ticket. I don't want to make it an official play, but I put $10 on it to pay out 11,000. I'll speed through this so it's not redundant. So Jacksonville money line, Philly money line, Kansas City money line, Chicago Bears money line, Miami Dolphins money line, Panthers money line, Patriots money line, Colts money line. Taking New York Giants +7 against Denver because that game's been heating up in the media with all the tweeting between Dart and the linebackers and Scatterboo, and I think that game's gonna be spicy. And Dallas Cowboys money line, Green Bay money line, Atlanta money line, Detroit money line. $10 pays 11 grand. So
Spicy.
Yeah. And I would say on the research, a lot of the analytics said take some alts on like do a second lay and do alts on the games that feel like it's going to be really close,
Yeah.
But on a lot of them, I don't think you have to go past. What's the biggest favorite out of the entire slate? Maybe like 9 points.
Yeah, like plus in the 7.5 for 6.5.
I'm building the official slapper right now. I'm 8 legs in. I'll go
Props.
I got Tony Pollard 30 yards, Drake May 200, Jackson Dart 25 rushing, J.K. Dobbins 40 yards rushing, Justin Fields 25 yards rushing, Saquon 2 receptions, Travis Kelce 25 yards receiving, Daniel Jones 200, and then I was in the process of adding Jordan Love for 185, or it looks like they have taken that away. He covers 185 at a last 6 of 6 rate, so I'm gonna put him at 175.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to put him for 200, but I feel like this game could be a blowout quick as hell, and we might not even get a look at it. So, I mean, I think 175 off of some big explosive plays will be there. What else I got? Quentin Johnston, 40 yards receiving for the Chargers.
Love that.
Let me add that in really quick. Receiving. Quentin Johnston on receiving yards. Let's go 40 burgers there. Jake Ferguson for Dallas, 25 receiving. Where are them boys at?
That'll be interesting. I know CD comes back this week too. That offense should be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, they'll be solid. I think every time a superstar like that comes back, who's used to being the bell cow, I think it'll take a couple drives, maybe a half even to get adjusted.
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
feel like CD has to get his game legs back under him. So
Yeah, for sure.
I expect everybody to still be in rhythm between Ferg and
Pickens. Yeah, I agree.
Pickens and Javonte.
I agree.
I don't have much left. So I got Quentin Johnston 40, Jake Ferguson 25 receiving, got Bijan receiving 25, and then Justin Fields and Jackson Dart both 25 rushing. So
I like it. Bijan, I mean, geez.
it's a 12-legger.
12-leg.
Yeah. Jordan Love there, Quentin Johnston 40, and then Jake Ferguson and Bijan are the only two I need, and then I'll give you all the odds. But it's right around where we've been in that 1,200 to 1,500 range, and that's where the analytics say it to be for the best hit rate. So it's almost like go as negative as positive, that it's not leaving too much on the table, but you can cover the board. Kind of is the philosophy I've been using. Plus the hit rates and the prop sheets come in handy.
I'm gonna tell that.
Where the hell is Cowboys game? Come on. I got to scroll past it 8 times.
It's one of the 4 o'clock games.
Yeah, Washington. No. I got Jakey for receiving. Jake Ferg. Not receptions. Where's Jake Ferg? Jake Ferg.
I like Jetta's receiving. That was one of the other props I was looking at. I mean, these Eagles cornerbacks, are pretty bad, especially without Quinyon Mitchell. They're giving up a lot of receiving yards. So I think Jetta's he breaks out, at home against the Eagles. So
yeah. Bijan 25 receiving. All right. So we got the 12-leg. It's plus 23.92.
23 to 1.
Daniel Jones 200, Quentin Johnston 40, Pollard 30 rushing, Drake May 200, Dart and Dobbins 25 rushing for Dart, 40 yards rushing for Dobbins. I almost put him at 50, but I was like, I
like going to safe route for
it. Because I feel like that Denver defense is going to get after his ass. He's going to take a lot of sacks, so we'll see. Justin Fields 25 rushing, Saquon 2 receptions, Kelsey 25 yards receiving, Jordan Love 175 passing, Ferguson 25 yards receiving, and then Bijan 25 yards receiving. 12 legs plus 230 plus 23.92. I think this is really solid. I think if anything misses, it will be one of the 3 quarterbacks not covering yardage between Daniel Jones 200, Drake May 200, and Jordan Love 175. So I think everything else is pretty solid.
Yes, sir.
But that's all I got. What you got?
Yeah, other than that, Judkins rushing the over 93.5, and probably going to take Jetta's. I think his line was 84.5 receiving. I know 2 high numbers, but I think both of them will have, a lot of volume today.
Yeah.
I'll probably be building up the parlays once I get back on the road tomorrow.
You said Jefferson.
Yeah, I think his line's at 84.5. It's
84.5 minus 114.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a field day.
What do you think his safe leg to add to our parlay here would be?
I'll say 50 plus. Let's just see the rate this year. I don't believe.
Yeah, 50 plus is minus 500, so I think that's solid. Add it in here. What was your second leg?
Judkins, the 93.5. Oh, his lines are gonna be so juiced. But I mean, we just saw a RB3 last week go for 124.
We did.
Yeah, Vital for the Chargers went for 124. This is absolutely the worst rush defense. They're finally favored in the game, so I don't expect them to be trailing, the whole time.
Yeah.
Judkins, his attempts is at 20.5, juice to the over. He's definitely good for at least, I'd say, 60, but I'm not sure what those odds will even be. Probably around minus 500 as well.
60 is minus 650, but it works. It puts us at plus 33.49. So 40 bucks. I have a bonus bet. $40 pays 1,300.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I like it. What else? Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got for the moment. I got to dig more in the NFL lab probably tomorrow night or tonight if I get some time as well. So
Or here, I'm gonna play the Juckins safe to keep it honed in. I'm gonna put Juckins at 50, and that puts us right at 3,095.
Okay.
So 40 $100 difference don't matter there. 40 pays 1,238. So let's lock that in. 14 legs. There we go.
Yep, I'm telling that.
Ticket of the week. I'll send it to you.
All right, brother. I got to hop on my other show, man. So
do your thing.
Yes, sir. We'll be texting in the group chat, brother.
Yes, sir. Let's punch some tickets.